All right. Well, the Assassin's Creed Shadows trailer is dropped, and then the controversy has been hilarious to say the absolute least. So, as a pro-level god tier gamer of the centuries, I have to weigh in on this fucking bullshit. Now, I'm not against the idea, okay? I'm not against the idea of there being a Black Samurai. Not against it at all. But what I'm saying is that this is absolutely infested with DEI showcases. And why not show gameplay trailer? Like, I don't understand what's up with these fucking games. If they have such good graphics, make it all in gameplay trailer. Don't make some kind of stupid things. Now, I want to point out something, various points of this trailer. You know, we go through here, we're fighting, right? This at its onset, we don't even feel like we're really watching an Assassin's Creed trailer. It feels more just like generic feudal Japan type thing. Now, the controversy that's really coming here is going to be Yakuse? Yuksei? Yakusi? Is Yuksei? Whatever his name is, how you ever pronounce it, it's gonna drop controversy because people have been waiting forever for an Assassin's Creed of this caliber for a long time. And they could have remedied this whole situation and guaranteed this was just all blocked. If he was a side character, now just because he's a side character doesn't make him a worse worthy thing. But what they're doing is that they're showing something that just utterly did not happen and totally taking liberties with history. And they knew what they were doing here. And they, the racial vitriol I've seen online for this game is been horrible, to say the least. I mean, people have on both sides. I say on both sides, people are like this. They will do that, and it's just utterly not things. They might have a love story going on here. You know, this is all fine and dandy, but I mean, people are triggered by this, and they don't like to see this type of shit because you're taking liberties with a story that you think that other people should accept. It all looks very plasticky, doesn't it? It's weird on the side notes. Now, okay, now let's hold here. I've said from the beginning I didn't like the look of this one chick, and I'll tell you the reason for it. Okay, that's what she looks like. Now, does this look like a Asian girl living in her parents' spare bedroom in some mansion in California, or does she look like a traditional Japanese woman, which we have here? You know, so it's all very wootsy bootsy. I mean, this looks like a Western American Asian type woman. She doesn't at all look like to me Japanese. Oops, fuck that. In my opinion, it's just a weird inclusion, and of course we're gonna get the Yakuza controversy, which I must say on both sides. There's hate coming from both sides, and there's a lot of pain in this series right now. And that's what fucking happens between this shit. People are just fucking going no. It's a very stupid sounding song in the background, I must say. So stupid. This is the part in the trailer. Like, so everything up to here has been fine. I mean, whatever. Very generic black samurai tale of stories. Nothing indicates to me as much as it's Assassin's Creed. But what you're getting here is you're getting once right here. This is what this just speaks to me that the people in charge of this project didn't have the right intentions at heart. Because this is stupid right here. I hate this. And anybody who was trying to make a cool project would have seen this and been like, okay, we need to not fucking show that because that's stupid as shit. What the hell is this music? I'm like I said, I'm not against the Black Samurai. I think that's a cool story. I don't mind it. I think it's a cool story. It could have been something, maybe people are like, oh, the lore says he's that, and the lore says he's that. But the truth of the matter is that these cultures way back then, everything was going crazy. But what this service they did to the fans is that they've obviously made this woke. This could have been something okay if it wasn't so wokey. You know, there's just something about Ubisoft ever since Odyssey, in my opinion, they've just really come across taken over wokey. You know, this is a Canadian studio, so Canadian is very progressive, very like that. These people are obviously trying to prove a point in all this. And that's ultimately what we have here is that we have them trying to prove a point, to try and stir the hornet's nest. And oh man, they have the amount of vitriol that you'll find online on both sides, both both people of both sides of this, Japanese, all cultures, all races, all over the internet, just going at it over this, and they wanted to stoke racial tensions by doing this. They knew what they were fucking doing. This has got Sweet Baby. This has got all these cocksuckers fucking dicks in the cookie jar here, and you you're gonna see this game come out. It's going to be an Ubisoft game. Okay, I played fucking all the Ubisoft games. I know what I'm in for. It's good enough. It's usually good to look at enough, but it's all very disjointed. It's all very fetch questy. You have to make your own fun in Ubisoft games because otherwise you're just gonna be doing the same fucking tasks over and over again. I guarantee they'll be like wipe out a base and it's like objective A, B, C, and then you're done. And then on to another objective A, B, C. It'll be the Ubisoft game, and it'll be a Ubisoft open worldy feudal Japany. But the thing is that most of our fans, I've been waiting for this since like 2005, 2006 when the first game came out. I was like, when I first played for the Xbox 360 original Assassin's Creed and originally saw the promo material for Assassin's Creed, I immediately was like, ooh, wouldn't this be cool in feudal Japan? They should take it. And it took them all this fucking time, and then they come out with this shit. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? He's almost comical, isn't he? Yasuke or whatever. He feels very comical. Like this scene right here. You could have picked him out of a group of people from some art studio or arts class in fucking Vancouver. Like he doesn't look at all like someone from that time period. And like I said, I'm not against the idea of cultures changing, but I mean it's pretty offensive to Japanese people when your biggest game of all time based in feudal Japan, then they make this fucking move. And not only that, but they just make the chick just not seem relevant. I don't know what it is about it. It's like she's a side character in her own game for some reason. They were obviously going for the shitstorm that was gonna be caused by this guy, this main character, which just bad move on their part. It was just a bad, stupid move. And in the DEI hierarchy, there was probably them just saying, no, we have to have a black dude as a samurai. Against all their judgment, against all their right thinking, against all their probably advisors and producers and artists and everything's deep down thought were just like, just make two Japanese people. It's a game about Japan. They put in all the time they took to probably build all the assets, to build all the gameplay, to code it all in there and put it all together, and they fuck it up by doing this. Just one story driven. That's what's happening in a lot of these games nowadays in AAA, is that you have amazing artists. You have people that can build and code these game worlds. You have these employees that are collecting a paycheck, and ultimately at the end of the day, they're just a side note to whatever story these fucking idiots in charge of the story come up with. It's like if you made a game and it was just a group of people who all shared the same vision, you would have better games. But what you have is you have departments. You have art department. You have accounts payable. You have a business that is very, very true of Ubisoft's game model. And what they've done is now they've created a thing where the stories are disjointed, the look of it all is disjointed. It doesn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game. It doesn't feel like a samurai game or a feudal Japan game at some point. It's just very all over the placey, and there was just all kinds of people's ideas converging against each other in this game. And we're gonna see that when the game comes out because it will be very lackluster, very stuffy with kind of shit to it. Things like getting an Ubisoft account, things like having to deal with one person's, like if I didn't want to deal with Yusuke's story, I'll probably have no choice in that matter. Whereas if they were both Asian, they would have, Japanese, they would have no problems with that feeling of kind of being out of touch, so to speak, and unauthentic. They're adding fantastical elements to a story that really should have just been left alone. And there was a myriad of other characters they could choose for the main male lead. But I mean, of course, in typical Ubi fashion, what they've been doing is they've been doing these joint ones where male and female are represented in the fucking game. Or just make a character creator. Character creators get rid of every bit of seethe in the community. Everybody loves character creators. You can make yourself. You yourself can be in the adventure. That needs to be encouraged. That needs to be a staple because then people who are black can have representation. Then fucking you could have someone who's um fucking Mongolian feel represented by making himself look like him. Inserting it's harder with the story to make it so that it's like one person is, because of course you have to write all the dialogue and you have to make them as a character, but I will always accept character creators over just a definite character. The Witcher 3, that was my biggest problem ever with The Witcher 3. I love the game. Amazing game. Amazing adventures, incredible open world, great story, but Geralt runs on you thin. After a while, you don't want to feel like being Geralt after, 100 hours plus. And they could have remedied so much with a character creator here. Ubi's Assassin's Creed games, they're really against it, and clearly they wanted to tell a story here, and it's not a story a lot of people are going to be that interested in, it, especially people from Japan who wanted to see themselves and their culture portrayed in a certain light and not made to feel, in certain aspects. This she just doesn't feel like she's as an authentic character as she could be. We must look. Do you think that they'll get to be banging in the game? These two? Who knows? Maybe fucking the main chick, whatever her name is, maybe she's a fucking lesbian or some shit. Maybe Yasuke's gay. They must learn to trust and rebuild. She's like, oop. She's like, what? She's like, wait a second, you don't look like anybody from around here. I'm sure that'll be her reaction. And like I said, I'm not against a samurai story with a black dude. I'm not against it. It can work in many settings, different cultures. Mixing is a fascinating concept to me sometimes. But when you take this and you make this all about that, and then that's when people get pissed off. They made it such a big deal and made it so cringe and little fucking people-y. It just doesn't work, in my opinion. It's too much of a show off, and it ends up just being cheap and unwanted. That's generally the feeling of the gaming community, I would imagine. So, peace out. Let me know what you think about the old Shadows.